Hey, hey now. Come on now. What are we doing this day? 1,000 every day, and we'll hit 1,000 today too. I'm at the goal met. Time to move on, and thought I would make a little video and recap how I got here and stuff. I posted a too long Reddit thread and decided to match it with a too long, just long enough video. Hopefully you'll enjoy seeing it. So I'm at my main 0-0 location, and better than the last time I played, the first time, the test factory, I spread things out and the FPS is pretty decent. It'll go down as low as 20, I guess, when I'm working on it, but it's playable at 20. So my plan worked out. Here, let's look at the map real quick. My plan worked out. Build enough to get the research going, and then really not very much more in this area. I expanded over to Olamite City and got the yellow research going, and at some point went out here and built. Let's go there now. Let's go there now. At some point went out and built the hard goods factory, the steel and concrete, and then added on a section for the robot parts manufacturing and the needful component generation for that. So I spread it out. This didn't let this get too big, and then working out here was a real delight because the FPS is perfect. So I've got all kinds of power generation and steel, concrete, and glass piping out of this area. With its own resource feeds. We juiced our world when we created it. This started as a multiplayer world. Me and a buddy got going with it, and then he kind of dropped out, so I went back to single player mode. Probably talk about that. Also, my fun was interrupted by even more fun. We went and saw the pyramids. We took a 10-day Nile cruise and saw everything cool in Egypt, which was pretty bitchin'. So they have optimizations that they're going to need to work on. One of them is this BS when you visit a busy chunk or a chunk with a lot of decorative blocks. They are very slow to load. And the game will just get better. They're going to work on performance. They've already identified this is also a problem. It's just going to keep getting better. So I wanted to come back here and show off a key development. So we've got these, oops, come on. So we've got a mall with the items in it, just like everyone else's mall. It's going to load here in a minute, and these boxes are going to have the different things that you need to win. And those are fed by belts, an endless array and train of belts with stuff pouring in and getting sorted out and put into the boxes. Come on. And so yes, we had big plans for all this decoration and how would it look inside it, and then we found out that the performance was crappy. So these boxes have items in it, and the goal was a single storage with multiple items and space restricted so that the multiple items each have their own slots allocated. And it worked out, and maybe we'll talk about that later. Otherwise, I've got another video, and I'll just put a link in the description. So the factory, let's just take a look up here. I've got this cable here for convenience, so I didn't have to always write up to the assembly area. The assembly area, I wanted to show you this little circuit. Take out the work in progress part. This little circuit, so the assembly line is maxed out, as you can see by these buffered areas, buffered storage. And what I wanted to do, what I needed to do to hit 1000 is have this secondary line run, but not all the time, because if it ran all the time, then we'd run out of things, and then that production line would be all jagged. So what I did, it was really simple, is test the angle of the sun and see if it's less than some value and greater than some value, so that it's a period of time, and those together, and then simply say only run this output during that period, and while we're outputting the day's work, don't bring any more in. So this fixed size buffer gets processed once a day. It gets dumped out to this box so that there's room for the day's production, and then maybe we'll come back and watch it. I don't know, but you get the idea. It was pretty cool. And we will get to it, but this assembly area is a long ways from where these parts are created. And so what I've done is just measure how much of each of the 4 different parts we have in the buffer and control production so that we don't overproduce the stuff that we don't need, but instead it's just all very measured and nice. Cool. All right, let's move on. Where's my notes? So I only used 2 mods for this. I used the duplication or blueprint mod, of course, and I also used factory commands. And I used factory commands because that is how we teleport. That's the only way to teleport, is the factory commands mod, and it works just fine and it's good. And I really feel like after you reach a certain point of progress, you should be able to have a teleport command. So that's the thing I decided. Here was the first expansion from the main area. I came out here and I built everything required for yellow research. Not a lot to say about that. And then later I layered in things like paint and whatever, and of course built out a sufficient amount of space processing to get the firm light going. All right, so I mentioned teleport. Check this out. TP to the robo parts manufacturing. And after a minute, this is going to load. Did I mention when we made this world, we juiced the resources? The new option to make the resource nodes bigger really did add to the fun. I had to replace exhausted nodes about twice, and otherwise could just focus on the more fun part of building out the factory, which is going to load. So I've got the different lines for the arms and legs and heads and torsos, and each of these machines is production limited to say stop when we've got in the delivered buffer a certain amount. So right now we need to make more torsos, and that's it. We need to make more torsos, but not more heads. We have 210 in the delivered buffer, so we don't need to use our limited resources for more heads right now. We need to focus on torsos and legs. Don't need more arms. Got plenty of arms on the belts or in the delivered buffer. So it was just a real simple idea that worked really well, controlling this production. And I did have the cargo drones delivering, and it kept the cargo drones delivering 4 different kinds of things without getting all clogged up. That was where the idea started. And that works fine as long as you underproduce and exhaust every delivered item. So getting that tuned right was a bit of a challenge, but I got it, and it turned out pretty cool. Wow, that's about all I wanted to share, except one more thing. So this was really fun. It was really super fun, and I'm really looking forward to where the game goes next. Seeing, performance improve, of course, will be awesome for everyone, and then they're going to add more content. Right now, the only end game kind of thing to do is to sell robots to the station. It's a demanding task. It's a good sink, but it's also, it just didn't feel very creative. And they've got big ideas for the economy part of this game. Come on, load. There it is. They've got big ideas for the economy part of this game. You produce things and you make money or bars, and then you do things with those. Right now, you just turn the bars back into the things you need for more robots and end game research. And so they're going to expand, they're going to add more content, they're going to fix the performance problems. It's going to be awesome. Any questions? Any comments? Yes, do please post. And then let me ask you, what should I do next? What are you doing next? It's 4 more days until Satisfactory 1.0 drops. And I think I'm going to play another theme, another game, an FPS or something. Take a little break from the factories and let 1.0.1 come out, mature a little bit, let that settle down, even as I'm super excited to play it. I've been waiting a long time. The last time I played, I built a giant factory and said I'm not coming back until 1.0, and that was years ago. So I think that's everything I wanted to share. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.